hey everybody, we're gonna play some Lord of the Rings 5e. So I'm excited. We haven't done this in what, like a month ish,
Oh, wow.
and we're short Ulysses, but we're gonna get started anyways and dive right in tonight. We're just gonna do 2 hours and um, go from there. Zach, um, as you're pulling up roll 20 or whatever, do you mind
Yeah.
do you do, do you recall what you all did last session?
We traveled a bit. We found some old ruins, I believe, and then went from the ruins into a town, and we were just about to have a pretty interesting meeting, I think, with the town's uh, mayor,
Yep.
or I think it was mayor or whoever
L-
Leader.
yeah, some sort of leader.
yep.
Um, and that's where we left off. Nothing. We didn't do any kind of combat or anything. We made some good rolls talking to one of the guards at the edge of the city to get some information that might help us later.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but we didn't do any kind of combat or anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody else think of anything from last session that you want to make sure we all remember?
Okay. Yeah, we talked to the one guy in the tower who was outside the town, and uh, did he introduce us, or did he just kind of he walked over and kind of gave us a quick introduction?
Yeah.
But seemed to be very happy to see us talking to him. Yeah, just he was really happy to see people.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, you met with that fellow there, and then you went into the village. One thing that I will note, I believe, Andrew, I believe your character, if I recall correctly, I believe Crithael um, kind of took stock and saw that, like, whereas this town is neutral, leaning towards Gondor, there is plenty of people in this town who are quite obviously not your friend.
Yes, and we're in a bar. We're talking to like the Pirate King or
That's right.
the equivalent of that. Somebody who holds their court in a bar.
That's right, Sire Grath. Yes, in the Longhouse locale there, absolutely. Um, he is he you kind of walked in and there's various people from all over here in the last port as this tavern bar is called, and there's a big hearth there, and you guys had kind of like settled around it, and then I think you'd gotten some food there, drink, and then inquired about the mayor of the town or whoever, and informed that that was Sire Grath. Sire Grath came out, and as opposed to taking you into a back room to have your discussion, he um, he settled down next to the hearth, kind of in the midst of everyone at the tables, right? And he kind of settled in and was ready to hear out why these men of Gondor were here. And I believe that's pretty much where we left it off uh, last session.
Yeah, and we had talked about what we were trying to get out of it. And good relations, new patron was one of the things. My character was focused more on, since we can't promise them the moon, we can't give them complete autonomy. We don't have the, we can give them the de facto, we can acknowledge their de facto autonomy, but we can't, give them independence or something. My character was thinking that the best thing that we could get from these folks who live a pretty hard life is really good soldiers to defend Gondor, because if we, because they've probably already lived a pretty crappy hard life, getting a great job with good pay in Gondor fighting, fighting for Gondor when they already have some of the skills. These could be great warriors that we could recruit. If we could come back with some recruits, that would be probably the best scenario that I was thinking of. And if they can help, guide us on our way, that would be cool too. That was my goals, but I don't know about you guys.
What do the other two of you think? Any other? I like those as objectives. Actually, I think that they're smart. But the other two of you have any additional input or ideas into what you're trying to get out of this council?
Not killed. Crithael she's a bit out of her element in the talking to important people. Not that she hasn't been in those kinds of rooms due to her upbringing, but it's she's not used to being the diplomat. So I think she's letting other folks kind of decide unless she hears something that doesn't make sense to her.
Mm-hmm. Zach, anything on Garwin's end comes to mind? You're muted.
I think information is probably the biggest thing that he's trying to get out of this. He's gauging how they feel, what they know, any information that could be useful to either warn Gondor of, or to help aid Gondor in any kind of way. These guys seem to be a pretty welcoming town for pretty much anybody, even if you're not supporters of Gondor or whoever. So just I'm sure a lot comes through that they either that's none of my business, but they know, type of deal. So I think information and just kind of gauging where these people kind of sit on the loyalty scale here.
Yep.
I think that's basically what he's trying to sniff out.
Absolutely. Great. Fantastic. So just for your benefit and for chat that's watching, a couple of things here. This is one of the differences for 5e, and we've already done this a little bit once, but Zach, you weren't a part of this, so this is your first experience here. What we're going to be moving into is a council, and a council has 3 phases. It's kind of like a mechanized scenario to some extent, but there's a lot of role play that still happens in them. But the 3 parts of it are introduction, and then set the required number of successes. So that comes off of your introduction and what you're hoping to get out of this, right? And then the last piece is the interaction itself. And during the interaction, you'll be making some checks as well. And if you introduce yourself well, and if you succeed through the interactions, then you get some nice benefits through a council. If you fail, there are some detriments. But councils are always very important, and we've raised the stakes for councils in this particular game by saying that when you have a council, you can pick up additional patrons and kind of stack them with your current patrons for additional benefits for your fellowship points. So that's kind of what's at stake here. In addition to the things that you guys just mentioned, is if you can achieve getting Sire Grath to be a patron for you, if that works out, then you would potentially get some additional perks as well. So, with all that said, this would be something that you guys would probably know or have some inkling in before you walked in there. Of the 3 of you, who is going to parlay with introductions for the group?
That would probably be, my character is more of the talker, and not necessarily the most charismatic, but feels knowledgeable and feels like their role in the party and their role in the expedition is the head stuff and the mouth stuff, the talk stuff, the head stuff, using his brain rather than just using his, because he obviously doesn't have the brawn. So yeah, this feels like his job.
Perfect. So as the man settles in, there's a few moments where he looks at you and you look at him. I think he had a young woman kind of bring him a mug, um, and so he sits there, kind of maybe sips a bit from it, then sets it back um, against the armrest of his chair there, and he says, um, "So, sires, lady, what brings you to our humble town?"
Not but our own feet, and those of our animals, I suppose. The horses do, and I just kind of attempt to give him a wry smile and hope that that was seen as humor in this area. Just trying to, the speech writing class, they told me to open with a joke, and so I try that.
Yeah, there's a little wry smile, and he says, um, "Who are you? Tell me of your friends. Tell me of your companions. Um, who
Ah,
has who has stepped into my domain?"
yes, men of Gondor, just seeking to um, meet our friends and countrymen down to the south, and just on a peaceable expedition to see the sights, learn what has happened, and give report and dialogue to make new friends and allies, and learn the challenges around us. And I introduce and this is where Brian has trouble because we play every month. Is on a monthly basis. Introduces the other members of the party. I names and classes and things slip when we're not doing a weekly game.
Awesome, no worries. So you introduce Krithael, Garwin, Silmarian, and yourself, of course. Um, he kind of looks you over and says, kind of nods along as you're doing the introductions, and he says, we had heard news of some sort of emissary coming out of the White City. Uh, expected more of a force. Uh, truth be told, uh, four seems a small lot for such an undertaking, such a dangerous
Well,
road.
it is indeed, but of course, my friends are quite capable, and our horses are quite good. And of course, our friends to the south and the west have guaranteed our safety, and so we knew that we were among friends. And if we were to ride in here with 90 or 100, well, everyone would view us as trying to make too much of a statement. If you want to be friendly, it's always best to come in as friends. If you brandish a sword instead of a handshake, well, there's no point in the handshake, is there?
He says, he kind of sits back, pleased by your answer. He says, I've always wondered what men from the White City emissaries, dignitaries would be like. I always wondered what an official sort of presence would feel like from that place. He said, I'm a bit I'm a bit pleased to hear you say those words. In this you are not so dissimilar from us. It seems we're a small
If
place.
you'd like us to garrison 100 armed men in your town, of
No,
course we can
no.
arrange it. And I make very clear that this is purely a joke, but also that we do have 100 armed men if there were ever a need. I don't let him. I don't let him forget the shiny city and shiny shields and swords and armor of the men of Gondor. You know, compared to the drinking hall that we're in. So.
He says, uh, uh, he takes your suggestion, your mild suggestion for what it is, and he kindly rejects it. He says, "No, I appreciate the. Don't misunderstand. I appreciate that you come as four. I think it's think here at least that is well received and appreciated." He says, "I'm I'm sure you have many questions, many things that you'd like to know, many propositions, many proposals." He says, "There's certainly time for that. Um, do you do you yourselves plan on staying over long?"
Long would be outstaying and welcome, and but we'd be happy to provision ourselves here. We've come with the coin of Gondor to buy any supplies that we may need for the next leg of our journey, and it would definitely be nice to if there are any quarters that you may be able to provide or that we could rent. We'd be happy to stay here, meet you fine folks, and of course we have plenty of time to give you all the news of the North and the kingdoms beyond, and get to know a bit more about your capabilities, your city, what threats you face, what Gondor can do for you, what you can do for Gondor. There's plenty of time for that, but several days would be more than enough rest for us. We don't need to establish some lasting presence. We actually have quite a bit of business to the west, anyways.
He says, "There's no need for you to offer coin for residency here. We have lodging, food." He says, and you should and shall consider yourselves our guests in every way, our honored guests." And he kind of looks around to the crowd around him. He says, "I know that we are perhaps in a different situation than you find yourselves in to the north, and our relations with the men of this area are unique. But that does not mean that we are anything but welcoming and hospitable and deferential to you and the White City and the Steward."
Well, of course, I'd love to learn more about this unique relationship, perhaps in council in the coming days.
Yeah. So I think at this point we've kind of done introductions a little bit. He's kind of felt you out. So this is what you're gonna do, Brian. At the
Yeah.
end of the introductions, you get to make a check, and I know we'll get you through that. No worries as far as
Get a DC there.
yeah. So when you make a check, you make a DC 15 charisma check. Failing does not ruin anything for you guys. It just means that you're going to have some difficulty ahead of you, but it does not mess anything up right now. So go ahead and give me a charisma check, please.
Yeah, and I believe I'm at +2 for general charisma. So,
Perfect.
so yeah, let's do that.
No.
So it's a 5. So I have a 5 +2 is 7.
Okay. So you guys, so there's definitely a you know, there's a weird sense here because even though the sire is speaking and he is definitely presenting himself as hospitable, um, you you get the sense that it's not he is the mouthpiece, but the whole community here is kind of evaluating you as he's speaking. And even though he is welcoming and he's definitely you've said nothing wrong, and he said, he's been welcoming, you get the sense as you kind of like settle into this conversation that there's quite a few hostile folks around you in the rest of the tavern, and it's kind of a chilly atmosphere here, and only really him and the fire are offering any warmth to this conversation.
Well, it seems obvious to me that the key is going to be figuring out a way to get him alone to tell us what the what everybody else's deal is, why what their relationship with the men to the south and to the west. I think he's going to be the key, and so with you guys' permission, I would suggest that we that perhaps the next day, if he has the time, we might have a walk about town, or they might show us the ruins that we were hearing about, or that we might see something of nature that something that we would have learned about at the last town there, at the last outpost, that the very talkative gentleman in the tower would have told us about. Oh yes, show us your knife collection. Oh yes, show us your trophies. Some sort of excuse that we've got to get to his house or get out on the road with him the next day, so that we can chat with him in particular, away from the prying eyes.
Absolutely. He kind of nods. He says, "Of course, I will make the day and perhaps a few days available to you, to show you whatever you'd like." He says, "While we're here this evening, perhaps you can tell us a bit about your lands." And he kind of looks around at his people. And he says, "My kin, very few of us have made the journey that far north across the river. Um, we've heard stories, of course, but news is quite a different thing. News and first-hand accounts." He says, "Tell me, how does how does the Northmen fare? How does the cities to the north fare in this age, in this era?"
Um, I would uh, talk up the beauty, the strength, and the culture of Gondor itself, and of course of Minas Tirith. And and then I would describe in almost uh, almost complete terms that we have the challenges around us. And then as I would do the compliment sandwich sort of thing. We've got the most amazing culture. We've got the most the greatest libraries. I would wax eloquent about the university and the libraries and things like that. And then I would say, but we face these challenges around us, but we have such amazing fighting men and such a great army, and that they're so well provisioned, and that we're just strengthening everything that we've got. And we're even recruiting. That would be when I might mention that we are recruiting more folks for for our forces. So yeah, compliment sandwich there, sort of thing.
Yeah, he you get into that second half of that. Um, as you're doing that, and I love that. I think that's excellent. Excellent strategy. As you're doing that, though, could I have both Garwin and Cathale make me um, either insight? I think there's both insight and perception. Still, give me insight and either insight or perception rolls. Your choice.
Okay.
You're grabbing something to drink real quick.
Sure. Yeah, there is both. Yeah.
This is where having my actual thing would be useful here.
Nice.
Wow, that is not great.
No, that's an 11.
Yeah. Disadvantage too.
Oof.
I'm gonna do perception because I think that would be what I would roll.
Sure.
I don't know how to make it say that like it does on his, but
It's all good. You can just roll. Yeah.
oof. Also not good.
Do you have any bonuses on that, Zach?
I don't think so. Again, I don't think so.
Okay, that's fine.
I might have another bonus. Hang on one second.
So your wisdom is 0.
My proficiency bonus is doubled, so my 11's actually a 13.
13. Okay. Okay. Well, that's definitely better. Okay. Good to know. Zach, if you don't have anything added onto that, it's probably just Crithale, you get a sense, you kind of glance over and during this conversation, especially when he starts to talk about Gondor's armies, and you see, like, you kind of keep an eye on the rest of the crowd, and as he's talking, you see several people's mood go even more chilly, just ice cold, and you glance away, scanning the rest of the crowd, and a few moments later. You glance, and those people that were there are not there anymore. The chilliest disposition is not there anymore.
Oh, that's not great. I'm going to find a moment and jump in because Crithale has a thought, even though, again, she's not really the talker of the group, but having grown up in a noble household, she is used to her mother talking up the harvest, and she will talk about her region of Lethalis and how the harvests have been amazing these last couple of years, and the apples are the shade of the reddest red, of the sunset, and like remember all the flowery things that her mother used to tell people that she would be bored to death by, but now seems to come in useful in this situation that she's been thrust into. So it'll all be about nature and the wilds and like how like more of the common life, trying to redirect things towards like we have a great life.
Yeah.
I think that's going to come across as I think young Zechariah is going to elbowing a bit and just going like we don't need to brag. They're not taking well to this. Like I think I'm picking up that they're not taking very well to everything, and so maybe we talk about them. Maybe we talk about their great things and the wonderful thing, history of the place, and he's just going on about.
When Crithale is elbowed, she's like, "Wait, what did I say wrong?" And she's gonna like, she's like, "Yes, harvests are wonderful," and just gonna like.
We have so much food in my area, isn't that great?
In the midst of being elbowed, and who's to say, what Crithale's interjection may or may not have done for the situation, but in the midst of that, you all hear a voice coming from outside the inn, the tavern here, and the voice calls out and says, "Northmen, steward servants. The crowd around you kind of stirs. Several people get up to their feet. You see the sire kind of kind of his he kind of bows his head, um, closes his eyes, as if just resigned or resigning himself to something, or maybe just
Yeah,
being
post my
weary.
sword, but I don't draw it.
Mm-hmm.
It goes to the vault.
Um, there's another call from outside. Same thing issued again. Northmen.
I would just turn to our host and say, um, your do we have your hospitality? And just kind of the leading question sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. He he says he says he kind of looks up and says, "You have mine. You may not have theirs." You see several people at this that had kind of stood up, kind of like look outside to like who's calling, and then some of the crowd starts to like filter outside.
Hmm. I think I probably would not have been front and center during this conversation. Last I was with some people at the bar anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so I was kind of not super close anyway. I mean, I was there. I would say like I would be like standing off to the side, still being introduced, still kind of listening in, but not sitting at the table, right?
Yep.
So when I hear this sound and people start trailing out, I feel like I probably would have also just kind of trailed out with some of the
Trailed out. Okay.
yeah, just people, people who are going outside. I kind of would have just gone with them in the crowd. Nothing, spectacular. I wouldn't have made a show of it. I just would have kind of snuck out with the group of people just to see what exactly is going on and maybe kind of sit myself
Yeah.
a little off to the side, like where everybody else is going.
Absolutely. I'm gonna share my screen for people viewing at home, but you can keep it. You can keep looking at yours or whatever, fellas. Um, so as you step outside, Zach, um, Garwin sees um, some individuals that look kind of like this.
Mm.
Um, uh, Kind of standing out in the street there. There's three individuals, not five like you see here. Kind of standing out in the center of the street, and um, they have weapons uh, at the ready. And I say at the ready, like drawn, unsheathed, right? And as you come out, um, the man kind of in the lead, you assume maybe he's been calling, kind of takes his uh, sword, his crude sword, right? And he kind of points it your way and he says, um, "You're not wanted here."
Not wanted.
"We've had enough of your meddling, enough of
You
your
haven't even.
words, false
Um,
words, your threats."
Threats. Sir, I'm not sure I know who you are, and I'm sure you don't know who I am. There have been no threats made against you.
He says, You're the tongue of the White City. And he kind of lowers his sword back down, and he says, "You've left this place too long. It has waned. It has turned. It belongs to someone else now."
I'm gonna step outside and I'm gonna say, well, if you'd like, we'd be happy to garrison 90 or 100 people here if that would make a difference. And just kind of look to our host and the people inside and just do a callback for everybody that was actually listening to the conversation and didn't hear a ton of threats.
Mm-hmm. You look back, Zechariah, and when you look back, the old man, Syagrath, is like, his head is bowed, and he's got like his hand on his face, like, not as in like, maybe there's an element of shame, but just dread is what you're getting from him. Like, there's a weight here, or maybe a weariness again, and you see more people kind of filter out and kind of step out onto the street, like a crowd is starting to form out there. Andrew, Crithael, if you're still in the tavern,
Oh no, I'm
you
outside.
will go outside too. Okay.
Oh no, I would be probably first outside, but
you got too. Okay, perfect. So there is like this weird, not weird, but this setup to where there's a lot of people around you, and you don't feel like they're on your side necessarily. Maybe they're on no side, but they are kind of. There's a crowd that is kind of fanned out in the space right outside the tavern, and then there is the three individuals out, kind of further out. You see like someone else is over like against the fence watching. Like, the town is, this is not unlike like a Wild West like showdown, right? Duel in the streets. In the sense, go ahead, Zach.
No, which is perfect because I was going to propose something here. I'm happy that you said it that way.
Okay.
How maybe this is not the way that needs to go, but my thought is to show that we are not about occupancy or, spilling blood unnecessarily and just, causing problems, to propose a little duel, and not to the death, but like first person to be disarmed, they have to leave. Or like, like, if I win, you allow us to stay here for the next few days to kind of recover. We're not going to cause any problems. And if we win, you have to leave. But if you win, we will leave tonight. Or, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's something that we can do or we should do.
I just I take the other elbow and just start.
Well, I haven't said it yet. I was just
I just so as long as they're not going actively at us yet, my view is that the important people to impress are the town. We want them to think that we are the most magnanimous, unprovoking folks that could possibly be here, that we did nothing. And so if it were me, of course, we all know, our characters all know each other pretty well at this point after being on the road for a couple of weeks. So we would kind of know how we would react. But players here, if it were my character doing it, he would probably say, "Oh, I'm not sure what conversation you were listening to there, because I don't remember anything like that. Here, let me buy you a drink, and we'll talk about these matters of politics and the differences. Bartender," and if the bartender is still even at the bar, let's chat with these fine folks. You seem to have a good, strong arm on you. That sort of thing to get everybody else knowing that we're not starting a fight, we're not in here violent, we're not pushing anything. These guys are doing it. And then when we wipe the floor with their asses after they start the fight, then we're the good guys and the strong guys.
So as he's saying that, Crethale, who is more straightforward, she still has not drawn her weapons, but she walks right up to where this guy's blade is, just like straight up, no weapons drawn, hands at her side, but just like right to the tip of the blade if the weapon is still out. And she says, we are here to treat, to talk, and we have the hospitality of the master. If you say that someone else is in charge here, then let them show themselves, and we shall treat with them.
Zach, as you hear Crethale go up and say this, what would Garwin do now? He had his other thought in mind, and they kind of turned to his companions, and they kind of made a move. What would you do at this point?
At this point, I would think that this is a trap of some sort. I'd like to get us outside, seeing what's going on. So I would check some of the rooftops, make sure everything looks good there. I would make sure that I am in a decent position, just in case. Not pulling a sword yet. Ready to go, whether it's back inside to discuss or to fight, whatever the case may be. But I think I would kind of want to see the reaction of these people and make sure that there aren't archers or things.
Give me a perception check.
Perception check.
As he's doing that, Crethale demonstratively like interlocks her hands behind her back, just like still facing the guy, but like clearly with her hands behind her back.
Yeah. Is that a 12 total, Zach?
Yes, I'm fairly certain. Again, I'm not sure I have this all set up correctly, but yes, I'm going to say yes.
Okay. Zach, you look at the rooftops, you don't see anybody. You look around, you don't see anyone else. It looks like these three men in the street, maybe it. Or if there is more, they aren't here or immediate area, right?
Okay.
Crethale, the man in front of you, as you walk up and say what you say, he says, Grath speaks for his people, but he does not speak for these lands. And he says, and you see like the muscles kind of tighten around their as they grip their swords a bit tighter, and you see one of them kind of shift his feet into a more ready position. He says, this town may stand as a ragged banner of a forgotten kingdom, but these lands turned dark a long time ago. And you see one of his men start to shift out a little bit. And he says, this is part of a wider domain now, the southern domain, uh, and to the proud peoples that live here. And we will not allow your stain, your blight, to infect it once more. And you see, uh, he kind of makes a motion to one of his men, kind of to kind of gives two fingers forward, and they start to advance, kind of to flank around you, Crithael. Very obviously not. They're very obviously intent on something happening here, right?
I'm gonna stand my ground, and I'm gonna. First of all, just in terms of demeanor, Crithael's entire focus is to dodge the first attack rather than to attack first or counterattack or whatnot. It's to show that if anything does happen, it's to show that they started it.
Absolutely.
So she remains with sort of hands behind her back, but very much trying to dodge. But she will say, if it is a combat contest that you wish, I assure you that we are more than capable. But perhaps instead of shedding blood of multiple people, and she's gonna like smile as if the thought is interesting to her, that we could perhaps have a more civilized contest. One-on-one, perhaps.
You see, he kind of had motioned with a couple fingers, and you see him kind of stop as you're talking. This man is now kind of on your left fully, and he says, "It won't be much of a contest." And then you see him raise his two fingers, and as he does that, you see something else. Let me move you guys to a new screen.
Oh boy, I love being moved to a new screen.
Yeah, let's see if this one actually works this time. New roll 20.
Ooh,
Can you guys see some stuff here?
yes.
Hey, all right. So as he moves, as he points his two fingers upward, you can probably see him here. Let's actually move Crithael up here. This guy's here. Garwin. Garwin. Let's say that you're. You guys can move yourselves wherever you want. Garwin or Zachariah. I'm happy.
Yeah, I figured I would be probably, if we just came out and there were some people, I probably would have been like right over here.
Okay, let's move you if you
No,
can.
I'm joking.
Let's have you move like. Oh, that's you. Okay, ignore me. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I was moving myself way out of the way.
Absolutely. Okay. As he raises those fingers, in a command, couple things happen simultaneously. This guy is going to close in on you, Andrew, and then these two individuals over here step out or swing around. Let's see here, with bows, and are gonna try to get a bead on folks here. This person over here also swings around from behind this cart with a bow drawn. And these two people here, Zach, move around the corner. So like that, like that, like that, and like that. And with that, we're going to go into initiative.
Okay, why is my character? Or I'm looking at your screen and my screen. There we go. Okay, I just think back up. I think. Okay, it wasn't synced up. My character was in a different spot.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna put him back over here. Yeah, he wouldn't run away actively, but he definitely is not wanting to be in the fight. So yeah.
Okay. So let's let you guys. All right, let's see. everybody can, if you can roll initiative, that'd be good. It's same as initiative in D&D in general, I believe.
Oh my god.
Nice, Brian. That's a 5.
How do you guys get it to say what it's supposed to say?
Oh, they're using the character sheet.
So I had
What?
made a character sheet like ages ago. Sorry, a couple.
But where did
sessions
you
ago,
make it?
and
Because I just
doesn't
have it as a
really have-
PDF on my.
Oh, you can make it here in the game loosely. You can't do everything perfectly, but you can
Oh.
get it loosely set up.
I made
Yeah.
mine in D&D Beyond just so I could roll dice. It's not actually correct. It doesn't have all my abilities and things, but I can roll
that. Freaking would have been nice to do. Okay, well.
Oh, look at that, Zach. Zach getting ready here. And then they're kind of in the middle. Ruffians, we'll say for now. This music might be a little bit too much. I'll adjust it here in a moment. Alright, so Garwin, you're at a 19 plus, which is going to put you at the first of the combat.
Okay.
Then Crithael, then the Ruffians at about a 10, and then Zach. I mean, couldn't have gone better. Couldn't have gone better as far as a turn order parlay. So there we go. All right, Garwin. As you see these two men come around the corner, you see men moving to engage with Crithael. What do you want to do?
Let me ask you this: I'm right outside of this bar, this tavern.
Mm-hmm.
What am I near? What am I? Is there anything nearby? Are there barrels, boxes, cartons, a cart? I see the cart on the actual map here, but like, is there anything that I would be standing next to that I could maybe use to knock these guys over, get in their way a little bit? Because that would be my first thing, is like, as soon as I see movement, like, I'm drawing my sword and I'm going to try to like at least put one of these guys out of commission for just at least a second, you know?
Yeah, I mean, so there's a cart right behind these guys. If you wanted to, you could try to like, kick out at them and like knock one of them back over the cart. If you wanted to do something like that.
Let's do that. I'm gonna try to see if I can push him over the handle of the cart and make him fall over.
Okay, sounds good.
So that would be just
I'd say an athletics check for you.
Athletics check. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Frick. Okay. Oof.
Let's roll
Not
for him. What's your plus to that, Zach? You gotta have something there.
I honestly, if I do not have it written down still.
Okay.
But when you are wielding a melee weapon in one hand and no other weapons, you gain +2 to bonus to damage rolls with this weapon, which is why I was going to use my sword. I do have that written down.
What's your strength score, Zach?
My strength score is 8.
Oh, okay. That makes sense then. All right, so you kick out against this guy here, trying to like not deal damage, but like at least like keep him back, right? And as you kick out against him, you catch him on the leg, and he stands solid. These guys, they are ruffians, but they're not like the wretched vagabonds, the little highwaymen that frequent, the north at sometimes. These are soldiers of some capacity, right? And so as you kick out, it's not that you make a fool of yourself by any means, but you've sized this person up as more than you expected. Okay. Anything else you want to do on your turn, Garwin?
I mean, I pull my sword. That's not an action, is it? Or is that
no, you're good.
So if I try to kick him and it doesn't work, can I just ready for an attack? Is that like, can I just like I know they're going to come swinging.
Yep.
Can I get myself ready for that?
Sure, absolutely. All right, so you kind of try to shove him back, get a sense for him, and then you set yourself and prepare for a fight.
Yep.
Awesome. Cothael, you have this guy moving in on your left. Do you want to
Yeah.
take the dodge action, or what do you want to do here?
So yeah, I did say that she was acting more defensively. So she will say that if there is indeed a blight upon these lands, we're not the ones who bring it, and she will draw her sword, which is a blade of Numenorean make, which will begin to glow with sunlight.
Oh,
And she will ready her shield, and she will dodge.
nice. As you draw that Numenorean blade, you see the countenance of the man in front of you just grow like there is a jealous wrath in his eyes at the look of that sword. All right.
There's a gleam of wrath upon my sword in return.
That's right. So the leader, ruffian leader here, is going to take. So we're using stat blocks. I'm using stat blocks just so you guys know from the rule book. So we're going to find out what some of these special things do. He's going to do his. It's called a Yell of Triumph, but it's basically going to be his command to assault, and he's going to call out to lay low the usurpers, and that is going to be a action. Each creature of the ruffian leader's choice that is within 30 feet of it and can hear it gains advantage on attack rolls until the start of the ruffian leader's next turn. The ruffian leader can then make one attack as a bonus action. So he's going to call out that, and then he's going to step forward with his own, certainly not Numenorean blade, and try to attack with you. He doesn't get advantage on his attack roll. So he is going to be a +4 on this attack at disadvantage. Well, there you go. So you see him come in with his blade, moves forward, swings in, you catch it easily. And just as you catch that blade, the man on the side will come in. He does have advantage, so that'll cancel out your disadvantage. And he will attack you with just a +3. There we go. That is a 20 to hit.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Okay. So he's gonna roll. So you take 3 points of damage from that individual as he strikes out at you with his short blade. This guy over here, back here, seeing you starting to be overwhelmed, is gonna add another blade to the mix here. Is gonna step forward next to his leader and strike out as you well. That is only going to be an 11 to hit you, though.
That's not going to hit.
Okay, so Cothael blocks the first one, takes a nick from the second one, then catches the third strike. Garwin, as that happens, you're going to take attacks from both of these guys.
Okay.
So.
Sorry, no, go ahead. Sorry.
All right, so what is your AC, Garwin?
That's a great question, actually. I'm looking for all my still.
Well, I'll go ahead and roll, and we'll see if it even matters. It may not matter. This guy's going to attack you with advantage. He misses, guaranteed, no matter what your armor class is, right? And then the second guy, that is going to be about a 16. That's going to hit you regardless of your armor class. So, easy peasy here. This guy over here, Zach, as you step forward, you have your bow out. Is that right?
No, I have my sword.
You have your sword.
I just have my sword currently.
Okay. You step forward and you engage with the guy on your left, and then the man that you tried to kick back and assault, he swings his sword around at the same time and manages to bludgeon you with it. He's going to deal some damage to you right now. He's going to deal 5 points of damage your way.
Okay.
Zachariah, you're kind of tucked back in amongst these villagers and behind a cart here. So as these two individuals over here step out and fire their bows, they're not going to shoot at you. You're behind that cart, kind of out of the way. So these two are going to fire at Crithael. And this
Do I
one,
have cover?
do you have cover? I'm going to give you partial cover from the people around you. So what's your current AC, Andrew?
It would be 18 was the shield, 20 was cover.
20 with cover. Perfect. All right, so they got to get a 20. They're going to be doing flat rolls because it's their advantage balances out the dodge. So, and then let's see here. They are going to be a +5 to hit with these guys. That doesn't seem fair, but whatever. we'll let it happen.
None of this seems fair.
No, it's perfectly fair. So that's going to be a miss as the first arrow whizzes by you. The second one is going to be a 16 to hit. So as it flies over, it's going to go wide as well. Trying to miss their companions, they can't quite bury it into you. This guy over here, Garwin, is going to fire at you. There you go.
Can I block at all?
No, because you
No, okay.
no, yeah. So you're at a 17. A 17 is definitely going to hit Garwin. Garwin, you don't have a shield, right?
I probably do, but I don't have it like up and ready to go in this fight.
Okay.
It would be on my back if I had it at all.
Okay. So.
Which I don't actually. You know what? I think I did write that down that I did have one.
Okay. All right. You let me know if you draw that shield on your next turn.
Okay.
Ooh.
Don't
Okay.
think that I will.
Zach, you're gonna take 8 points of damage as an arrow slices in and cuts a deep gash into your side.
Okay.
Okay. That is the ruffians' turns. Zachariah, you're up.
Yeah, I am going to reach into my. I don't even think I would have it in my backpack. I think I would have my notebook out from the council that we've just had, and I'm just going to reach into my papers, and I am going to pull out perhaps the right paper or any paper with writing on it, because we're in a village, and I'm just going to hold it up, and I am going to yell. We have guarantees of passage from your king, from the king of Gondor, and we are visitors in this house. Whether it's treason against the king or murder of a visitor, these men deserve justice. Fight with me, and I'm just going to stare straight at our host, and I'm going to make eye contact with all the villagers around me.
Nice.
And yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, is try and get some of these guys to, go for some justice.
I like that. That's cool. So
I'm gonna draw my. I have a short sword somewhere. I'm gonna fumble around with that for dramatic effect. But, yeah.
Absolutely. So let's have you make a persuasion check on this here, Brian.
Okay. Oh gosh, I know I know that on the paper sheet I'm proficient. This I never finished this character
It's
sheet
all
on here. So I'm gonna put / so it would be so my proficiency should be is proficiency 3 or 2 right now?
2.
2. Okay, got it. So it would be roll 1d20 plus 4.
Yep.
So there we go. Rolling the dice. There is a 9.
Yeah.
Gosh, I know I've got some item that lets me do a fancy roll. Do we have a? Isn't that a? Do we have a reroll from our patron?
Yes. Yes.
For
You can spend
charisma?
You can use a fellowship point to re-roll a check.
A charisma check, right?
Yeah.
I think it's just yeah.
So let me pull it up. But yeah, the answer is yes. That was.
I mean, it's a fellowship point, but it's.
Do it. This is the time.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting jumped and.
let's see here. That was not that one. That was the other one. Minas Tirith. Ecthelion. Uh, yep. Yep. So you can roll another one and take the best of the two results.
Okay, well, I'm hoping it's this one.
Oh, look at that.
19.
Much better. Yeah, absolutely. So everybody needs to
Okay.
make sure that you reduce your fellowship points by 1 because it's shared pool. Okay, so you call upon that, which is appropriately enough, that reroll comes from Ecthelion, right? So as you call that out, you look back at at the host at Siregrath, and you see him hesitate for a moment, and then you see him look to some of the men in the crowd around you and nod his head. And a couple of those men will absolutely draw daggers from their belts and will move to fight with you. So I'm going to mark those 2 men here, just so you guys know. Very cool. Very cool. Now, Brian, as a note for you, I'm calling you Zach even though you're not Zach.
Yeah, I am. I'm Zachariah.
That's true. That's true. Just a reminder that you also have Rhymes of Lore, which is basically bardic inspiration. If you wanted to spend a bonus action to assign that to somebody on your crew.
Yeah, we'll go for let's do that for Garwin.
Garwin. Okay. So Garwin, you have a D6 that you can add to an ability check or attack roll.
Perfect.
Okay. Awesome. That was Zachariah, kind of bringing some of the crew to bear here. Garwin, we're back up to the top with you. What do you want to do?
I feel like I should probably try to either take one of these guys out or get away. Because I'm sure I'm not looking too hot right now.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys this because I have reached a consensus on this anyways. And we're not too far in that it matters. I'm going to tell you guys right now that I am going to ignore attacks of opportunity for this game. So I like it better if you guys can have the freedom to move where you want. So no attacks of opportunity. Cool. If you need to shift.
Cool. Yeah, I think I would like to. Yeah, then I would like to kind of. Maybe I'd like to try to swipe at one of them with my sword, and then take a step or a couple steps back, so I just have some room to breathe.
Yep. Give me an attack roll here.
All right. Oh wait, I was on the right one.
Ooh! Ooh! Look at that, a crit. Awesome. All right, so with your sword, give me a damage roll, and you're going to double it.
Okay. What? It doesn't say for my sword what.
You have a long sword or a short sword, or what do you have there?
I have a. Hold on. I have a. Not a short sword.
There may not be a difference on this one.
I have a bow. I think I have just I have a two-handed sword, so that's what, a long sword?
I'm sure it is. Let me double check here, because they do call the equipment different things in this book, in this one.
I was going to say, I think I remember choosing a long sword on this one, not a short sword.
Okay, long sword. Yep, cool. Or do you just have one that says sword?
Well, it just says sword, but when I was looking at the thing, I believe what I wanted was one I could use two-handed on.
Yeah, that's the sword. That's just the sword.
Okay,
this one has
sword, yeah.
So this game has sword, short sword, long sword. And sword you can use with two hands, and it's a D8. So you're gonna roll 2D8 plus and you would have done that because it's a finesse weapon, and you want finesse because you want your dexterity modifier, right?
Correct.
So 2D8 plus your dexterity modifier.
And my dexterity modifier is don't have it on here, but my dexterity is 15
Yep. So that'd be +2.
plus 2. Okay.
Mhm.
I can't. It won't let me freaking edit this now.
That's fine.
Okay, whatever. I need to learn how to do it on the actual thing here, like you guys. D8 plus 2.
Nice. +2. So 15 points of
So
damage.
15.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Sweet.
So you see, as these two guys engage with you, you see an opening. Which guy did you attack, left or right?
Right.
Okay.
This
So
guy.
you see an opportunity now, and you are going to spill the first mortal blood here as you take your sword and you slide it into this individual and then draw it back, and this guy goes down completely.
Heck yes.
Where would you like to move to?
I'm gonna take a step back just to right here, just so that he is not right up on me.
Perfect. Crithale, you're next.
I'm gonna slice at the guy in front of me.
Absolutely.
And does he qualify as an evil man?
Yes, absolutely, he does. Yeah.
Excellent.
Whoa, that's nice.
Right.
Absolutely. 23 is gonna hit for 10 piercing damage.
It's actually 10 radiant, but I don't know if that matters in this.
It doesn't matter for this guy, but 10 is a huge, nice hit. So, yeah, Crithale, you bring your sword around and cut through, slice it to his leg. He kind of almost goes down to one knee, manages to hold his resolve though.
I am also going to back up just so that we can take a more tactical position.
Yep.
So I'm going to be next to Garwin, and that way maybe we're also out of the sight of those archers.
Yep. I already like the encounters more, but I don't have to deal with, when nobody has to deal with attacks of opportunity. Feels real. Okay, so let's see here. That's Crithale's turn. Now it's the ruffians go. This guy's got to stride forward, and he is going to use his multi-attack on you, Crithale. So 2 attacks.
Bring it.
So first attack. That is going to miss. Second attack, also going to miss. So there's a couple of swings. Catch both of them. No issue. Now his men are going to move forward. Now, all of these ruffians have gang tactics, which he didn't get the... Well, I guess he would have gotten the benefit of. You know what? Let's roll that again. Because they have advantage on attack rolls against a creature if at least one of the footpads allies is within 5 feet of the creature. Nope, he wouldn't have gotten it. But these guys will as they step forward. So, boom, boom, boom. So, Garwin, this guy's going to attack you with advantage. One attack.
Okay.
That is going to be a miss against you.
Heck yes.
Crithale, two guys against you.
Yep.
That is
Nope.
good.
Nope.
Just double checking. A 19 doesn't hit.
Oh, 19 does. Sorry,
Okay.
I thought those were the straight
Yeah.
numbers.
+3 on these. And then the other guy rolls. Ooh,
Oh.
jeez. Okay. Man, it's crits already. So first attack is going to deal a measly 2 points of damage to you.
Okay.
The second one is going to be a measly 8 points of damage to you.
Great.
Yes, Crithale manages to hold her own very well against 2 individuals, and then when the third comes, she feels a bit of overwhelm. Now, 2 rounds in a row, it's a bit harder to hold off 3.
Yeah.
These 2 are going to move around the edge here, and this one is going to... This one is going to see that there's an opening. It doesn't necessarily want to not use its bow, but it's going to not use its bow because it's got an opportunity here. So it's going to rush forward here, Garwin, against you. It's only going to have a dagger though, because this is really a bowman that is not, doesn't have a good vantage point at this point. So it's going to roll against you here, +3. That's a 17, which is going to hit.
Dang it.
for 3 points of damage.
Um, I'm pretty sure I'd be down at this point.
No. You're at you're level 3, so you would have 25
Well,
to 30 hit points.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I thought I only had like 18 or something like that.
No, you
But
should
maybe that
have,
was
you should have
when I
more
was.
than that. Yeah. We can pull it up here real quick. Give me 2 seconds. I'll tell you how many hit points.
No, you're good. I just figured out how to actually create a thing on freaking Roll20 instead of going through.
Yeah. Because you're
D&D Beyond.
Because
itself.
what class did you pick, Zach? Did you pick a
My class is Herald.
messenger? Yeah.
Yeah, Messenger. Sorry.
Okay,
With
you
the
might-
Herald.
You
Calling.
might actually not have that many hit points. A D8.
I thought it was 18.
What's your Constitution score?
11.
Okay, so 0. You'd be at 8 plus 5 plus 5, 18. You're absolutely right. How many points of damage did you take from the first hit?
5.
And then
And
you took-
then I took 8, and then I took 3 just now, you said.
So that's 16
Right.
total. Yep. So you have 2 hit points left.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Great. Fantastic. That's
That's
terrifying.
great.
Awesome. So that's all of their turns, I believe. Zachariah, before you go, your comrades are going to go here.
Yay.
So these two
Yeah,
guys are going to
posse.
rush forward here. This guy's going to come around and over, and they're going to step up and help you fight. So this one is going to attack the guy right in front of you, Garwin.
Okay.
Gonna make an attack roll here.
Okay.
That is gonna miss.
Heck yes.
Well, you don't want him to miss your enemies, but that's fine. This guy's gonna.
Oh,
attack
I
you on
thought.
Yeah, you're
This
good.
is our guy.
Yes.
Can I motion to that guy? Just give him a little, you know. Can I motion him right over to there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Running past me. Okay.
Absolutely. So right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, he'll get there. He misses though with his attack. A 2 and a 3. They're not great. This guy though is also gonna climb out of his pig pen and draw a dagger, and he's gonna come up to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, you know what? He can get there. He's gonna run forward and take a stab at this guy here. That is that is not going to hit, but it was very close. So at least there are more bodies in the fight. All right, that's all of them. Zachariah, what do you want to do on your turn?
Okay. Again, I'm not a swordsman. I'm not trained in any of this. I am just a scholar. But being a scholar who is not a fighter, I'm going to run around this side of the park. I'm going to run all the way up over to here, and I see that is the part that swings, where you hitch it to the horse.
Yep.
And I'm going to pick up this side of the. I'm going to pick that up, which will lift up both of them probably, and I am just going to push, and I'm going to swivel that, and I am going to try and knock these guys who are focused on their fight. I'm going to try and knock them off their feet by turning that
slam it into
stick.
him. Yeah,
just slam into them, and
Okay.
and then the great thing about that is that I am a good 3 feet. I am out of their arm's reach
That's true.
on the other side of the bars, pulling a Shanghai noon on them.
Perfect.
So, yeah, that's what I'm going to try and do.
Let's say that we're going to give this we're going to make them both make dexterity saving throws. And let's say it's going to be 8. What's your intelligence modifier, Brian? Roughly? What did you guess?
Intelligence is +3.
Plus 3.
That's what I've got.
So 8 plus 3
Yeah,
plus
I
2.
may have bumped that down to a 2 to give myself more charisma when I made the real character sheet. But
So let's say that you have a +3. So let's say the DC is going to be 13 on this, and they both have a +0. So let's have them roll real quick. miss, and miss. So Brian, Zachariah's plan works here. You swing it around, slamming into these guys. Not enough to um, damage them, but enough to knock them prone, which
That's all
is
I'm going for.
yeah, it's valuable in its own way here. So we're gonna put it prone on both of these yahoos here. Fantastic. That's very valuable. Okay. Excellent. Now, you could hand out another bardic inspiration. It's rhyme of lore if you want to call something out to one of your companions, Brian.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. Looking at the so Chris, okay, you're over here. Okay. Chris, okay, it's not showing up. Crithelane, Critha, okay. Crithel, yeah, okay. So, yeah, I'm gonna say, knocked him over for you, knock him dead, and yeah, just encouraging to you.
Perfect. So both you, Crithael, and Garwin both have a rhyme of lore inspiration to utilize. All right, that was Zachariah's turn. Garwin, you're up.
All right, yeah, I think I'm gonna go for the guy right in front of me and use my sword again here.
Okay.
So let me roll the attack really quick. Hopefully I'll hit.
Nice, fantastic. Yes.
And then I just want to see if this works. If I just click this, if it'll go through.
Okay. Hey, it did work. Well, I mean, it made an attack roll. Click on the where it says sword there. Click on the sword word in the thing. Okay, something is wrong, but that's fine.
Wait, why does it say my damage is -1?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's wrong, but that's fine. Roll me a d8, Zach, because it's
okay. I'm sorry.
it's all good. It's setting up. Ooh, that's nice.
No.
Okay, so you 7 + 2 for dexterity, 9 points of damage on that fellow right there. That's excellent. He takes a heavy hit, bleeding severely, but is not down. He is maintaining composure a little bit here. Do you want to move, Garwin?
Instead of moving, can I choose to then start wielding my sword with one hand and
Your shield?
pull out my shield?
Sure, absolutely. That's going to give you a +2 to your AC. So unless you tell me different, what's your armor right now, Zach? What type of armor are you wearing?
I'm wearing probably just basic leather armor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not wearing like full metal armor running around this place.
Right. Okay, so you got a shield plus you got leather armor. Great. So Zach, your AC, just so you know, you're probably wearing a leather corselet, so that's 14 plus a shield is 2. So your AC is 16.
Perfect. Yep, that's what I have.
Okay, awesome. All right, Garwin is going to do that. Do you want to move, Garwin? You said no.
Yes, I'm going to move. Yeah, I'm going to move 2 steps back or 2 blocks back.
Sounds good. Crithael, you're up.
Crithael is now fully in a bloodlust, and she's gonna kind of like brandish her sword and shield, and she's gonna just yell out, "Look at these cowards! It takes 3 of them to draw blood from one of us." And she's gonna spit a wad of blood from her cuts at the guy in front of her, and then she's gonna attack him.
Up here. Cool.
An advantage because he's prone.
Oh, only if you're yeah, you got advantage on the guys on the left, but not on the main guy.
Knocked him over. Knock him down.
Yeah, well, I don't want to do 3 damage to like 5 different people and then still have them fighting us. So, I'm gonna attack the guy I've been attacking.
Okay. These guys could maybe attack the guys that are down. We'll see here.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll hope for the best.
That's not great. Let's see.
Inspiration?
Is it a D6?
It's a D6.
It probably won't help, but I will roll it nonetheless. It's a 6.
Hey.
Absolutely. So just so you guys know, these ruffians all have, almost all of them have an armor class of 11. So definitely.
So that is 17 damage as my blade glows as I strike him with a killer gleam in my eye.
Wow, 17. Okay, so you've done 27 points of damage total. Yeah, absolutely. He is looking. I'm gonna put some red dots on here. He is looking real rough as you find another opportunity and take a stab into him with your blade, drawing a heavy amount of blood. Both him and the man to his left are pretty wounded.
Yeah, I'm going to. These are good guys. I'm gonna move over here.
This guy here. So as you shift over, I'm gonna let these two, because they are standing and these two are prone, I think it makes sense. I'm gonna let them make attacks first, since they all go on the same initiative. So this guy is going to attack first here. Let's roll a dice. He gets advantage. Yeah. So you see him, he kind of rushes forward, and he's going to plunge his dagger into that guy for some damage. And then this guy's going to do the same over here. That's also going to hit for some more damage. So both of these guys have taken some damage at this point. Let's just round out your comrades. This guy's going to see an opportunity to the guy Garwin attacked. He's going to make an attack roll himself. That is going to miss, though. He is not doing well. At this point, though, what is going to happen? All the ruffians get to go. This guy is going to backpedal a step and draw his men to him. This guy's going to stand up and is going to shift over to here.
Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good. This guy's going to stand up as well and shift over to here. This guy is going to take a swing at Ecthelion and then move back. So here we go. That is 21 to hit.
21 hits. Yeah.
Okay. Oof. Gross. That is going to be a plus... So 7 points of damage on you, Ecthelion.
I'm fine.
And it's going to shift back to here. This guy is going to take a stab at this fellow here. These two guys are going to take stabs at this guy here. So we're going to do an attack. That's going to hit for... Oof. This guy goes down. Then an attack here. That's a miss. Another attack. That's +3. That's a hit. This guy right here is looking rough, but he's still up. And you can see they're not like... Then this guy's going to backpedal and kind of dropping his dagger is going to draw a bow and step back to the side here again. So they're not retreating. Well, they are retreating. I guess they're backing up, but they are more like, you know, getting themselves into a better defensive position here as they are looking rough. That is their turn, though. Zachariah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on. We've got two guys over here that I neglected.
I was hoping you wouldn't think of that.
Well, let's... I mean, we got to get Zachariah into the fight here. This guy on the left is going to shoot at you here. That is a miss. With a natural 1. And then this other guy's going to unleash another arrow at you. Also a 1. So, yeah. Zachariah stands stock still, and both arrows whiz right by him. No dodging necessary. These two guys, seeing their comrades, they're going to kind of like shift over to here, kind of seeing if they need to support. Garwin. Oh, I'm sorry, Zachariah.
All right,
Sorry, Zachariah.
Oh, it's all good.
Okay. Oh gosh. I'm gonna. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have fun here. I got to. I got 2 townspeople. We're doing pretty decent. I've pushed the wheels of the cart going, kind of this direction now.
Mhm.
I'm gonna run back to these guys. I'm gonna say, "Give me a hand," and I'm gonna push that thing, and hopefully they're gonna give me a hand. And if I'm correct with the angle that I pushed that into those guys, it should bump into a whole bunch of folks. And if I can perhaps make a persuasion roll instead of a attack roll, then and get these ladies back here, or pudgy men, I can't
Sure.
really tell,
They're-
to help me, then they're either like a pudgy kid that you want to hand a lollipop to, or they're a rather homely wife.
They're a rather homely wife.
Rather homely wife. Okay, well, then they'll love the manly attention. So yeah, I'm gonna ask them to help me push.
So I'll let you roll. These ladies are going to be harder. They were hiding back behind there from the chaos. They are not armed, so you're going to have to be pretty persuasive to get them into the conflict. But we'll see if you can make it happen.
If not, I'll just push it myself. But so let's roll 1d20 plus 4.
Ooh,
20.
Look at that! Excellent. Yeah, I mean they see. I mean they're going to be willing to do it. So it's going to go for these three guys right here, basically.
Yeah.
So let's roll some d20s here. Succeed. So this guy, who is a towns guy, sees what's happening and dives out of the way. He's fine.
Well, he's our guy, right?
He's your guy.
So-
Yeah, you wanted that. The next one is a 2. He fails. The next one's an 18. So you managed to knock over this fellow right here. He's knocked prone. The leader guy, as it swings back, he's going to take a step backwards into these chickens, scattering them, and he's going to avoid it. But you didn't manage to knock the one fellow prone there, which could be useful. Awesome. And Crithael is out of inspiration if you wanted to. You have a number of bardic inspiration equal to your intelligence modifier, so you either have 2.
That is 3.
So you
yeah,
have
I think it's 3. So yeah, let's go for it. Crithael needs all the help, and I know I've got. I know that when I actually get back to my physical character sheet, I ended up taking some of the healing stuff, but I don't remember the mechanics, so I'm playing around with cards.
I can help you with that too.
Yeah.
When it comes
we might end up needing that on the next round.
It's actually only on a short rest for Hands of a Healer, but we'll talk. We can look and see if there's anything. Okay. Most of the healing.
I thought it was one of my craft things.
Yeah. Okay. Craft. Okay. I'll check while we're doing this. All right.
Okay.
Garwin. You're muted, Zach.
Okay, so first of all, dueling, when you are wielding a melee weapon in one hand and no other weapons, you gain a +2 bonus to damage rolls with that weapon. A shield, as far as I can tell, is not considered a weapon.
Right, exactly.
So I should be good.
Yeah.
Knowing that right about... Oh, now I'm on the wrong page here. Hold on. Knowing that, like, right about here is a cart now that's kind of, like, stopped.
Sure.
And this guy's right behind the cart.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to remove that. I'm sorry.
It's good.
What I'd like to do is I'd like to run up to the cart, jump off, and try to just stab this guy in the back.
Okay.
The main guy.
I like it. Give me that roll.
All right. So let me roll the d20 here. Oof. God dang it.
Now you got.
Oh, I have that inspiration, that the d6, right?
That's right. And keep in mind that you're at a +2/+2, so +4 already. So you're at a 10.
So I'm at a 10. What do I need to hit him?
I already said you need an 11 to hit him.
Oh, I need an 11 to hit him.
D6 basically just gets it for free, right?
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm
Okay,
just gonna do it.
So you.
Oh.
Fair enough. It still works. So you run forward. You're gonna dive into that and swing your sword at him. Go ahead and make that attack roll. You made the attack roll. Make the damage roll. So this will be a D6 +2/+2. So D6 +4.
D6 +4.
Whoa.
10.
Dang. Okay, so he had taken 27 points of damage. You rush forward, leap off the leap off the wagon there and drive your sword down.
Yep.
He only had 32 hit points to begin with, so 10 is twice as many as what you needed here. So the ruffian
Heck
leader,
yeah.
you drive to the earth.
As soon as I stand up from that, I'm gonna look over to the two guys on the right, or the two guys on the right, two guys on the left, and I'm gonna kind of like do the who's next type of gesture with both my shield and my sword, and I'm gonna kind of like do this with my sword. Who's next?
Nice. I love it.
And can I roll an intimidation for that?
Yeah, I'll let you roll an intimidation real quick. Yeah, bonus
Because
action intimidate.
that sounds like fun.
Yep. That's pretty good. That's a 19 plus 2, 21. Okay. As you're doing that, Crethael, before they go, you go. So what do you want to do?
Crethael's gonna run up to that guy and attempt to. So what this looks like is Crethael is running through these chickens that are going around, and she picks up one of the chickens with her foot and throws it at the guy as she's running up to him. And as it like cracks in his face, she stabs the sword right through the chicken.
Okay.
Doing
Okay. I
13
need to interject here. What sound do you think chickens make?
Bark, bark.
Okay, you said as it quacks in his face.
You know what?
It's all good.
It might have quacked. It definitely cracked as you split it open.
And
yeah.
and as I like stab him through the chicken, I'm gonna look at the other ones, and also echo his. Any more chickens here?
Yeah. You're gonna see at that. You know what, Crethael? Why don't you give me an intimidation check as well here? Let's see if we can double down on this.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna probably be great. One second.
Since I'm there also being intimidating, does that help him at all if he needs it?
You know what? Sure, you can roll with advantage there, Andrew.
Sure.
Yes. Teamwork.
Making teamwork.
Hey, that's better. Look at there.
Just for good measure, I'm gonna throw the bardic on there and make that a 22.
Nice. Nice. Yeah.
Man, we are terrifying these guys. You guys think they just saw the freaking Paths of the Dead right now with these ghosts? That's what's happening right here.
Yeah. Absolutely. So as you guys, as Zachariah bowls in with these guys, with the cart, knocking several of them back,
Sure.
Garwin leaps forward, stabbing into one. Crethael stabs through a chicken into another, and then you succeed in being super intimidating. At that, on their turn, these two ruffians are gonna beat feet basically to get the heck out of here and disappear out of town. This one is also gonna do that. So 3 of them completely disappear.
Hell yeah.
This guy is going to run as well, and he can get off the map, so he's gone. This guy is a little bit suckier in that he was prone. So as you make your intimidating thing, he would probably get up and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He could get to about there, but it's up to you guys. The townsfolk are not going to give chase to him. Zachariah, Garwin, or Crethael, does anybody want to go after this guy?
Can I probably wouldn't chase after him. If anything, I would try to throw my knife at him and see if I could hit him, but I'm not going to unnecessarily spill blood.
Well, he's definitely running. If you want to throw your knife, you're welcome to, but he's definitely running.
Yeah, you know what? Why not? Let's give it a shot.
Okay, give me a d20 roll, please.
Chuck my knife at him and just see if I can't hit him.
You definitely hit him. Roll me a d4.
Okay.
A d4 plus 2 plus 2, so plus 4. d4 plus 4. 5. So you hurl a knife and you do bury it into him, and he kind of pitches forward, He is definitely injured, but he is not down. Um, you're no obligation, but Zachariah or Crithael, anything you want to do?
I want to run over to the townsperson who's wounded
Mm-hmm.
and just say I have some skill in healing. Uh, and granted, I mean he's probably bled out or whatever. He is an NPC, but he is a townsperson that joined in our fight.
Yeah, yeah.
If there's anything that I can do healing wise, I'm willing to spend the resources necessary to do so.
Okay. I like that. So you have hands of a healer. Let's see. Do you have?
Also proficient in medicine.
You're also proficient in medicine. Yeah. Give me a medicine check real quick here.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what you
Yeah.
need. So this guy stabilizes.
Like
He stabilizes. Excellent. I think that's very reasonable. I don't think it's unreasonable for you to manage to like keep that guy alive. You do have, after all, the hands of a healer as a special ability as well. So cool. So you go over and you stabilize that guy. Crithael, anything you want to do here?
This guy's running.
Oh yeah, and he just got a dagger buried in his.
Do you think I can get my bow out with enough time to fire it?
Yeah, you can. You just have to drop your sword. You can't
That's fine.
sheath it. Yeah.
Well, I have a shield on as well, so.
It's free action to drop stuff, so you can drop everything you want.
All right, I'm gonna take a shot at this guy.
Yep.
And I will absolutely shoot him in the back if I have to.
Yeah. Oh, with a crit. Nice.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And that would be actually, it says whatever it says there, but it would actually be double some of that, right? Because that is not incorporating the. It says 10 plus crit. No, that'd be right. 13. It'd just be the custom that wouldn't be. It would still need to be doubled, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the extra thing from my weapon.
Yeah.
But that's fine. It's probably enough.
Oh, it's definitely enough. Yeah, these guys have 11 hit points. You step over and drop that fellow as well. Awesome. With that, as that arrow goes into him, you guys have managed to drop them all.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that could have gone worse.
It could have. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Let's give you a back to this, I guess. As it kind of like stills around you, you guys look. You see like four dead ruffians. You're guessing probably, you don't really know without doing a further check, but probably men from this area. They don't look like Haradrim necessarily or Easterlings, but there's no tell. You might be able to discern some more, but definitely definitely not or definitely it looks like people that are at least could be local to this area. And then you have one. Oh, this is the guy that you saved, Zachariah. Sorry. Let me fix that. Yeah, 4 dead ruffians, and that's it. The rest have fled. You turn and you see the Sire Grath kind of had watched everything from the doorway of the tavern, and as everything dies down, you see him slowly turn and like just still in that weary weight almost on his shoulder, he walks back in and just like almost falls into his chair by the hearth. Just whatever warm, like there's still, whatever light was in his eyes or in his persona before has gone out, and you just see a very weary, um, beaten down individual there.
As we kind of wrap this up, Krethael is going to walk slightly wobbly past Zachariah, and with a kind of wry smile say to him, 100 armed men if we need to, but only if we need to, and then collapse against the earth.
You have Zachariah. You have several townsfolk who are around you and like putting their hands on you and saying like, many thanks, and there's an appreciation for you immediately tending to the people there. I'm gonna give you inspiration, Zachariah, for a focus on stabilizing that one guy that went down. So that's excellent. You guys also sense that you know like if you look, and maybe Garwin, as you kind of stand and peer out at everybody else, um, there isn't the hostility that you saw or the coldness that you saw in the people anymore, but they are overcome with the same like weariness that you saw in Sire Grath. Like the facade of a light-hearted town, if it was a facade, maybe it's just a change, but it doesn't seem light-hearted and welcoming now. It seems like they are on their last leg.
Hmm.
I'd ask them what they need. I mean, we're not just here to find allies, and recruitment is wonderful, and I'm sure I have a job for. Yeah, I'm sure we've got a couple of we got 3 folks here that we've seen fight, and whichever one did the best job, perhaps could earn himself a commission in the army. But what does this town need? And I mean, I think we've made a good introduction, and now we need to talk to our host and figure out who the heck those guys were, why they didn't tell us more about them, and what the landscape is. And I feel like their tongues are going to be pretty loose now.
Yeah, as you ask what they need, maybe a little bit just to the people around you, the man that you kind of like have some cloth pressed against his wounds, he kind of uh, 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 sits up, kind of maybe leans his back against the cart that you've been pushing around, right? Um, and he looks up at you, Zechariah, and he says, "It's been a long time since anyone's asked us that." And you hear several other like murmured voices and affirmation there. Um, uh, one of the women next to you, next to the lot of you, will say, kind of like help help Zachariah to his, or kind of offer to help him to his feet from tending to the guy, and she'll say, "You best speak with the sire. He has a way with words that not all of us have, but he does speak for us." Um, Anything else that you would like to do out here in the street, or do you head back in?
Maybe check the bodies to see if they have any marks of who sent them, or
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Considered looting in Germany.
Sorry?
I said that's considered looting in Germany.
Yeah, and I want to be clear that I don't look like I'm looking for money, but that I'm looking for like signs, that I'm examining their clothing and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
It was a German money. It's called marks.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
was a joke.
Give me a you know, you don't even have to roll here. So you look over these guys. Actually, no, I'm gonna have you give a roll. Because but it's not about. You know what? This is gonna be a fun opportunity here. And we'll see if any of you have this. If not, you can propose a different thing. But I think that this would be a really great opportunity to deploy a new skill. Because as you look at these guys, there's no markings on them, no insignias or anything like that. So really, it's probably I'm gonna let you, if you want, roll a riddle check, which is an intelligence-based check, to see if you can piece together who these guys might be, just based off of reason and deduction.
Let's see.
My skill proficiency is deception and riddle.
If you want to help,
If that helps.
if you want to help Crethael, you're welcome to. Zach.
Yeah, I would. I'll help. I'm right there with her. So.
Okay.
So you can have advantage on your roll, Crethael.
Yeah. Well. Sorry. I'm trying to find where my character is, but actually, it's just a D20 -1. So. Sorry, my technology stopped cooperating with me.
Well, of course.
Oh, look at that! You needed it. Well, it helped with Garwin's assistance. You rolled a crit.
Excellent.
So fantastic here.
Heck yeah.
So I think a couple of things. Let's move you guys back to the main map here. We zoom out on this map. You are certain, and probably this is Garwin that's most certain here, but you're most certain that these are not men from Harad, which means they're not from the south or east of you. So looking at them, your evaluation is that these men are of just their countenance, especially maybe not the others, but the leader. Now that you get a good look at him, you think that he is of some Numenorian descent. He is, you know, it's faint, but you pick up traces. You're pretty certain that this guy would have been from the coast, would have been from the region around Umbar, and would probably have been, based on the fact that he has some Numenorian blood, he's probably a man of some station or rank in Umbar. You know, he could be minor. He could be a lieutenant or a whatever, right? He's commanding a handful of ruffians out here in the outskirts, Harlinden, right? Or not Harlinden, but Harminden. He's probably not like a big bad boss, but he's not a nobody. That's not going to tell you if he's from Salentir or Umbar, but it does tell you that, like, it might tell you a couple things. It might tell you that even though you have safe passage from the Lord of Umbar, it is obviously not something that that everyone within his ranks is willing to tolerate, and it probably indicates that you have done the right thing to stay off the road, because it might be more severe, more dangerous there than what you thought if this is the norm.
Makes sense. And I'll share that there was a look of recognition when I drew my blade, so it would seem that he is. Not everyone has knowledge of Numenor, so it would seem likely that he is of that descent.
Yeah, yeah. Other than that, there's nothing on this guy or his companions that give you any real indication of that's going to be useful to you. They have basic gear, basic rations, but you have Gondorian gear and stuff, so you don't need any of this, right? It's not worth looting.
No, and I make a show of, like, after I examine him, like, I will turn and, like, loudly say, there is no sign on him of where he hails from, but, nothing of note. Only these, things.
Mm-hmm.
I leave.
Perfect. Are you heading back inside now? At this point,
I think so.
I'd love to chat. We've looked at the bodies and stuff, but it seems like our host would know
yeah,
who they are. Like we can do all the sleuthing we can, but if we just go inside and ask, I feel like
he might be able to give you some
not.
info. Zach,
Not a
anything
big
on your end here?
Well, I would have been standing with
Yeah, Grithael.
out there too, yeah, Grithael, and kind of just assessing the carnage at the moment. Just kind of keeping an eye on the other townspeople, making sure they're okay, kind of just making sure that things have kind of calmed down a little bit. And if I was just there helping, I would have probably noticed the same things, or she would have told me, or however that would have worked. So I probably would just sheathe the sword, kind of put things back together, and just kind of maybe help clean up the mess that we just made, to show the townspeople that we're not like them.
Absolutely. Takes you just a few moments, really. It's just a upturned cart or a turned cart and a few bodies in the street. You're able a chicken carcass. Really the only loss to the town, it seems. You with that you kind of put things right the best you can, and then you head in. When you head back in, you can see, as you head inside, none of the townsfolk come in at this point. They, in fact, when you all three or four, technically, with Ulysses being there, when you head in, you see that there's the younger lady beside Sire Grath, and then as you make your way in, another woman comes to the door, and she kind of looks at you all solemnly, and then she gives a kind of a small bow, and then she closes the door behind you to give you definitely like giving you some amount of privacy for this next meeting. I think that's where we'll end our session tonight.
So, around for the house.
That's right. Yeah. A lot cheaper now. Yeah, good job, fellas. That was a nice, perfect 2-hour little run, and you guys had a little fight. So
Love it.
Somehow didn't die, just barely.
Oh man, I had
I'm
2
glad I
hit
haven't
points
actually
left.
drawn a sword or cast a spell. So that was.
That's right. That's right. No, you guys didn't. You guys are fine. You guys are fine. You had nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about at all. No, that was awesome. So we're gonna play again next week, and I'll just remind you guys that next week we're gonna do a full 3 or 4 hours somewhere in there, and we're going to have a real meeting with Sire Grath, and then see where it goes from there. But we're moving right along. So next week, and then we'll do every 2 weeks after the holiday, after the Thanksgiving. So Anything else, fellas, or shall we call it a night?
Since we had one
I'm-
full fight, do we level up?
Yeah, you guys can level up. Absolutely. That was. You guys have several sessions, and you've got a fight in now, so you can advance to level 4.
Sounds
Love
good
it.
because man, I got some stats I'm really worried about getting up.
That's right.
I'll get the paper one, and if I can't find the paper one, then I'll go ahead and make it new and just try and follow all the rules exactly. It's hard after you've done it with the regular 5e, looking through the pages and going, oh, and I've got that. Oh crap, I already had riddle. Okay, well let me move it over here, and it was a hassle, but yeah.
Well,
Oh, well.
I appreciate you guys hanging in there and diving back in. So, and I appreciate getting to run a little combat because I was curious if this it's pretty much the same system, same mechanics as all other 5e. They really didn't change a lot there. So,
Just
didn't-
no magic and no healing.
no magic and no healing. Yeah, which
Uh,
can
Other
make all
than
the
that,
difference.
fine.
Yeah, no magic, no healing, and how are you going to recover those hit points? Because you can only recover, you only get long rests in safe places, and I guess you're going to be staying here for a while if you want those hit points back in full.
We're in a safe place.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
wait.
it's safe now because we just killed all the threats.
We killed all the bad guys, so
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
safe.
Every single one of them.
Let's go back to that. Go back to that guy's tower. It seemed pretty safe.
That's true. That's true.
Go rest there for a little bit.
Yeah. All right, fellas.